Salt Lake does get compared a lot to more legacy casts like New York and Atlanta, and I think it's really in the energy of the show and also in the energy of the edits. The cast of Salt Lake is very aware of the cameras, they are very much putting on performances, but because it seems like the women individually take themselves so seriously and really understand the value of the show, the opportunities that can come with the show, they are willing to engage in a level of chaos that we really have not seen since the early days of Housewives. I think even comparing the cast of early New York and early Atlanta is really interesting. Both of these shows premiered the same year in 2008. New York premiered first. Very high level, it feels like the women of New York in the first season are very aware of how they're portraying themselves. They talk a lot about social currency. I think I spoke about this on all of the biography videos that we did on the women of New York, but Alex especially talks a lot about the opportunity to get into higher and higher circles. Comparatively, the first season of Atlanta really feels like just having been invited into the lives of these women. Atlanta doesn't talk about getting into higher and higher circles. They talk about there being an inner circle in the city of Atlanta, and the implication is that they are part of that inner circle. I do think Candy definitely understood coming into season 2 the business opportunity that was this show. Between seasons 1 and 2, we know that Nene is aware that she's a fan favorite. She comes in with a little bit of a different attitude. However, looking at Kim, Kim by season 3, people are singing Tardy for the Party on the street to her. And she in her confessionals is like, yeah, people love the song. Everyone's recognizing me from the song. It really feels like Kim doesn't realize the show is a hit until there's a spinoff. RHOA is also a really good example of this. The show is just documenting her life. It's invited into her life. She's very selective about the people that she chooses as her supporting characters. It feels like she chose people who really wanted to also be on TV. And Sheree also gives herself the opportunity to come and go from the show as she pleases over the seasons. So zooming out a little bit, comparing the two, New York and Atlanta. Atlanta feels like a cast that genuinely does not care about the cameras for a while. New York feels like a cast that's aware of the cameras and is strategically using those cameras to portray the kind of person that that woman wants to be. General chaotic energy of early Housewives I think also just boils down to the amount of access that these women had to audience feedback. Even tabloids, media outlets, it takes a little bit longer for these women to understand how the public is receiving them. When Jill gets a Google alert that Bethany is pregnant and calls Luann and Sonia, I think at one point is just I don't even know what a Google alert is. In that moment, is it that Jill cares too much about what people are saying? Or is it that Jill is the first one to really be plugged in to what people are saying? And then zooming back out, comparing that to Salt Lake today. Salt Lake is a cast that loves bloggers, the media. They care a lot about how their characters are received by the public. I would say that almost caring so much about what people think about them as individuals allows them to be really chaotic. Everyone on Salt Lake wants to land the best, and for that reason it feels like they are willing to continue outdoing themselves, outdoing each other.